You want to know what changed my life? I was on my deathbed, struggling to breathe, unsure if I'd even make it another day. And that's when I realized, if I don't speak up now, fat people like me might never have the chance to live fully. I wasn't sure how much time I had left, but I knew it was now or never. And that's when I started fighting, for us. For fat liberation, for the right to exist.
This has got to be one of the most odd and weirdest reactions I've ever seen anybody do to almost potentially dying. In the odd chance you're clicking on this video and you don't know who Jae Bae is, in a rough summary, she was the one that went viral I think about a year or two ago.
Make elevators and hallways spacious to allow for easy movement of larger individuals.
She made that petition that went very viral, which was making hallways wider for obese people. Same goes for various things like airplane seats and buildings and beds. There's a whole thing that she's done. And recently, the climate for all that super fat positive, fat liberation kind of stuff has somewhat died down. And for that reason, her content hasn't been making her as much views or money. So for that reason, she has actually started a GoFundMe. And we're going to go through it today because it's basically a scam. But before we actually go into the GoFundMe, I want you to kind of at least get the quick mindset for those you aren't thoroughly familiar with her. This is the brain that we're going to deal with.
You want to know what changed my life? I was on my deathbed, struggling to breathe, unsure if I'd even make it another day. And that's when I realized, if I don't speak up now, fat people like me might never have the chance to live fully. I wasn't sure how much time I had left, but I knew it was now or never. And that's when I started fighting, for us. For fat liberation, for the right to exist, to thrive, and to take up space.
Ain't that crazy? Imagine that you find out that you're near your deathbed and you're dying. And let's be real, her weight did contribute to it, because when you're that level of excess fat, it almost doesn't matter what illness you have, that is going to exacerbate the issue. Imagine going through that, and when you kind of pull through, your thought process is not to like make any lifestyle change for you. Your thought process is, I need to change the world so people that going through things that I potentially just went through can live that way more comfortably without any stigma or judgment. To me, that's crazy, because most normal people, when they come out of situations like this, they truly like are enlightened and they actually try and change things to prolong their life. And it is fairly sad that that's the kind of delusion that these people will give themselves. But I wanted to make sure to include that clip just so you kind of know the mindset we're going into. And here is another example. This is her response to people more or less saying like solutions that she could somewhat do to basically help her traveling.
Let's debunk the fat-phobic solutions. Rebuttal number 1, just lose weight. Oh. So I should just change my entire body to accommodate your comfort? It's not my job to shrink myself to fit into spaces that were never designed for me in the first place.
Absolutely insane. She believes it's much easier for planes to resize all the seats than her just losing a little bit of weight. It'd be different if, like, for example, she was just slightly overweight, but she's very, very, very obese, which is really like, come on. Especially the fact that she often claims a second seat for free.
Fix the system, not the people. Rebuttal number 3, don't fly then. I'll just stop living my life because the world isn't built for me. Flying is a necessity for many people, whether for work, family, or travel.
What?
Firstly, let's be clear. I think I've said it a few times already, but this isn't just for, like, there's many fat people that get on flights fairly fine. You know, I mean, I got fat people in my family. I see many fat people on the plane that fit in there fairly well. And I'm talking about not just chubby, it's fairly big. She's the next level up. Like, there's a fat scale that they have. Whatever the number she is, she's one of the higher ones. So it is what it is. And secondly, flying definitely is a privilege. It's a luxury. You know what I mean? Not everybody, there's many people that have never got on a plane in their life. She has, I would say, somewhat the luxury of traveling often because her social media content does help finances. However, when we get into the GoFundMe, you're soon going to find out that the bills haven't been getting paid lately because this content isn't as popular as it once was. You know what? Let's just watch the video first and just see if you can actually understand why she actually needs $15,000 and what's it actually going to be used for specifically.
Hey friends and future allies, I'm Jae, a passionate advocate for fat liberation. For years, I've been fighting against the discrimination fat people face in travel, healthcare, mental health, and beyond. This mission is deeply personal to me because I know what it's like to be unseen and unheard. But I can't do it alone anymore. This work has required immense sacrifices, time, energy, and sometimes my own well-being. Now I'm reaching out to you for help. Your support can make a tangible difference, not just for me, but for everyone in the fat community.
So far she's saying if you support her, you're supporting everybody, because her mission is so grand and so vital to the cause that you need it. It's kind of crazy, but we're going to go into it further. Just keep listening to what she's saying.
With your contributions, I can continue creating impactful content, organizing events, and driving systemic change toward a more inclusive world. Every action brings us closer to the world we all deserve.
She makes this sound like it's really like a really vital crusade, and like she's like the one leading it, like almost, I don't want to say Jesus, but she's giving herself a god complex as like she's the savior of the obese people, which is kind of crazy. So first things first, when it actually comes to the actual message, firstly, most of it, considering it's meant to like be some very, you know, passionate speech, she spent reading off screen. I feel like that always detracts when you're ever doing a GoFundMe or anything in general. If you're talking about some mission that's really passionate and you really love it, you should be able to like get through it without making it obvious that you're reading a script. I feel like it takes away. But in regards to the actual points, it literally just sounds like she wants the money so she can continue making TikToks, because that's basically what she did. Her main things is TikToks and creating petitions online. So it's really interesting that she really believes that people should donate. But if you look at it, you'll soon see that it's been up for a month, and so far all it's raised is under $200, considering the target is 15K from 6 different donations. And if you read one of them, it's a piss take. You have a food addiction, go see an addiction specialist. So they just donated for just to be a dick. And if I'm being completely honest, I'm actually really surprised she even got like $200, because I'm surprised based off that video as well, who would really donate? Well, I'll tell you what's even funnier. I bet you that she's in thorough shock that she's only gained $200, considering it's been a month, because in her videos that went viral talking about how everywhere needs to be more inclusive for really obese people, she would get like the little chatter from people saying, oh my God, what you're doing is God's work, support, support, support. All this online chatter, but you soon see that these people don't truly support you, because if they can't part with their money, it almost means they truly don't believe in what you're selling. I think she's thoroughly like shocked to her core. And more evidence of this is shown where you can see that literally just a couple days ago, she came back and like decided to write more because she realized that she wasn't getting anywhere near what she expected, considering her goal was 15K and she hasn't even made like a tenth of it. So here you can see, hey everyone, I'm working on a big project that's going to make a huge difference for the plus size community. This project is about highlighting people, places, businesses that are getting inclusivity. And then it goes on to say, to make this happen, I need to travel a few hours away. It's a trip that's crucial for bringing this vision to life, but I could use your help to make it possible. Any support, big or small, will go directly into helping me get there and showing the project is a success. So based on the video and in combination with her little follow-up message, you can clearly see that the main thing that she really wants this money for is to finance her social media content that she makes, because she travels and just talks about the issues she finds traveling because she's big. She wants to keep making the content which she wants to make, but she doesn't want to have to get a job to subsidize like most of us. For example, I've been doing YouTube now for like 13 years. I've always had a 9-to-5 job because YouTube alone is not a sustainable model for me at this current point to just live off social media income. It's just not going to pay my bills. So I know that I have to like make sure that I spend time working a job, making sure all the main bills is covered for me, my family, my daughter, and then all this extra stuff is just a side passion project that I have, which is trying to give people information to better themselves, get fitter, get stronger, and try and lead a more balanced lifestyle. But people like JaeBae that are more entitled, they honestly do not want to do that. They think that their mission is so important that you should finance it. And you can soon see that these people don't feel the same, because all these online yes queen people are not parting with their money because they don't believe in it. And even the ones that probably did, when they watch your video and see that you're actually not doing anything specific, like there's no actual details, it's just very vague words of service, they're probably like, they don't feel moved enough to actually move with their money. And I believe it becomes more evident when you read one of these paragraphs here, which I believe is actually the main honest reason she wants the money, which is what I've already kind of said. Supporting my ability to continue as a full-time advocate. This includes covering everyday expenses like equipment, resources. I need to create content, maintain my platform, and keep pushing this mission forward. It will allow me to grow, stay focused, and create an impactful, sustainable change without being bogged down by financial strain of doing it on my own. Which basically says, I don't want to have to work a job and do this because it's too much. Please pay me money so I can keep spouting this basic, delusional victim mindset content. But just to circle it back to that mindset of the first video I showed you guys.
I was on my deathbed, struggling to breathe, unsure if I'd even make it another day. And that's when I realized, if I don't speak up now, fat people like me might never have the chance to live fully. And that's when I started fighting for us, for fat liberation, for the right to exist.
This has got to be one of the most odd and weirdest reactions I've ever seen anybody do to almost potentially dying. And it's just a really crazy thought process to have after going through that. So I've got to say to anybody watching, if you have someone that you truly love, whether it's a friend, a family member, a lover, whoever it is, if you have any family member that has anywhere close to the mindset that this person has JaeBae, you need to really do your best to try and get them out of this matrix of delusion and wonderland, because it's a very dangerous life to live. If you can almost be dying and then that still doesn't break you out of the matrix, you go fuller deeper in, it's very, very worrying. So look after your loved ones and try and do your best to get them out of these cults if they're in them, because it's not going to do them good. And all that's going to happen is at the last minute, they're going to feel regret and it's going to be too late. So with all that being said, please, if you've made it this far in the video, give the video a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts about this. And if you do choose to, please be somewhat respectful. Anyways, click one of these videos that YouTube thinks you're going to love, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and subscribe if you are brand new.